Hey friends, this is Fernie, aka Friend the Human,
And I'm Slapper.
and this is Vibes and Delights. And there's a piece of cake who has since run away. Okay, you should have held her. But, um, y'all, happy Pride! I know we're like a week late, but a bitch was tired last week, okay? A bitch is tired every week, okay? I'm just gonna be real honest with you. Yo, so it's Pride, and I saw a discussion that I wanted to talk about. So I'm gonna jump in real fast here because I want to ask you guys, what do y'all think about this? So I saw a video on Tickle Talk about this exact same thing, and then I saw this post. So I was like, let's talk about it. So this is on the bisexual thread because they're just I feel like they're just more active, I guess. I don't know. I whenever I search for things for pride on Reddit, bisexual almost always comes up first. But anyway, um so cishet partners at Pride. So cishet partners at Pride, okay? So this is my first year out as bi, just with close friends. I have a cishet partner and I want to go to a few Pride festivals around our state this month. I've seen a lot of discourse on Twitter with people saying cishet partners shouldn't be allowed in a queer space like Pride. It's been a long and difficult journey figuring out and accepting my sexuality, and I want my partner there to celebrate with me. But I don't want to do that if other people or ourselves would be uncomfortable. I just want to open a discussion about it and see how the community feels. What do you think about that, Beba?
Unless they're wearing like straight rule shirt or something, like how are you even gonna know? Except that they're like a hetero presenting couple.
Yeah.
But like, are straight people just not gonna be at Pride at all? And
Right.
you're gonna specifically tell queer people that their straight partners can't come, but random straight people are just gonna be there? Like, it's really dumb.
I feel like it's not well thought out. It feels like something that somebody asked and then somebody just said something reactionary. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand because without our allies where would we be? You know what I mean? But also like I understand where they're coming from because a lot of straight people, like you see the stories on TikTok all the time. Yeah, me and my straight friends went to a lesbian bar and somebody asked my male friend to leave after he was hitting on like 8 gays and theys, you know what I mean? And like some shit like that, you know. It happens often. People bring their straight friends. People party at lesbian bars because it's safer because there's not scary men in there most of the time. You know what I'm saying? But then these people get too comfortable in the spaces and get mad that hoes are like bitches is like making out or bitches is like hitting on them like I'm married. You could be married without being a piece of shit about it. You know what I mean? But whatever. I just don't agree because we need our allies. We need our allies to be there to step in, much like a white person should step in to protect a black partner. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would expect you to stick up for me, even though you're not a part of my space, but you are my space. So I need you to stick up for me. You know what I mean? If I'm there at Pride as an ally, that means I'm there because I'm supporting and protecting my friend. And if I'm not there protecting my friend, what the fuck am I there for? And then like just like what you said, um, what if people like how would they even know unless you were telling people, correct? Like or people do go just to be a piece of shit. It's like,
Right.
oh yeah, don't miss me with that gay shit. Like some people say it in jest, and some did you see that? Okay, some people say it in jest. We're kind of low on the screen, but but some people say it out of true malice. And I think that's the honest difference is somebody who's straight at Pride, who doesn't belong at Pride, probably doesn't belong in many open spaces. I'll just say that. They're just generally pieces of shit. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I don't know why you would claim to hate a thing and then go to where the thing is the most at the moment.
You know why?
Why?
Free shit. I'm not even kidding.
What?
I am not kidding. My horrible ex, like remember I said we lived on that the all that property and there were like 3 houses. His grandma would go to those random places and spaces that she necessarily didn't belong to just to get the free shit. Like necklaces, plates, cups, stuff like that. I'm not kidding.
I don't know what to say about that. That's crazy.
It was a weird before life.
I've never wanted garbage-free swag giveaways that much to go somewhere. I'm not going to
those people are also inherently
for free Confederate
flags.
Right.
And also, like, that's like an inherently like hoarder thing to do. Aren't
Hoarders.
they like all hoarders too? But I've seen that.
You tell me one time there was like just her house was like infested with roaches.
Yes. All the time.
With all that free gay shit.
Yeah.
Did she really though go to gay pride?
Well, I don't think it was like a thing back then, like, or it wasn't like a really open thing. She would go to Black community events.
Just any
like a Juneteenth celebration, or like even a hockey celebration. Just random shit. If
she heard about it, she's showing up.
Yes,
I heard
she
y'all
wanted
got
the free
hats.
T-shirts. Like, y'all think I'm playing? Like, there are people out there that are like this.
Hey, at least people are showing up, you know.
I mean, shit, like, my dad once took us to, we were there at the car wash, and, like, there was some astronauts there signing autographs for free. I got an autograph of an astronaut for free.
At a car wash?
It was, like, next door. I don't know exactly what it was. I think it was. You know that Texaco gas station in Louisville that I used to tell you about? My parents used to take us there like every Wednesday for free car washes, or it wasn't free. I'm pretty sure it was like some sort of special, and my mom like taking advantage of it because she likes a super duper clean car. But anyway, there was like a lock place next door, and like I don't know if it was like a lock place. I remember there being like the car wash, that lock place, and a lot of boxes, like P.O. boxes, you know what I mean? But I don't really know if it was the lock place or was there like a P.O. box place next door, you know what I'm saying? Regardless, they were signing autographs. I got one. We got a car clean. Hell yeah, brother. Anyway, totally got sidetracked on that anyway. But yes, people do go to those kinds of spaces just to get free shit, or just to be a fucking menace. So, yeah, that's all I was trying to say.
That's new to me. Good to know.
I mean, look at my mom. Doesn't she like getting free shit from us from my job?
Yeah,
all
but that's,
the time.
She's not spending her time to go to a place to get the free thing, you know?
So those parades that she's always going to.
She likes parades.
But she's actually in them.
She loves attention. I'm saying she doesn't do stuff just for the free things, okay?
All right. But anyway,
why am I defending your mother? What's happening here?
That's probably why she loves you more.
Probably.
But anyway, I just brought that up because, like, I wanted to know what people were thinking about that. Because, I don't know, I just don't agree. Like, I know we got massively sidetracked, right? Talking about boomers being hoarders. I don't know. I just want to know what y'all think about that. I don't think it's right. Like, we need our allies, but we don't need bullshit, you know? So, like, there's a fine line to be had, and I feel like anybody who's there with someone who is part of the community, I don't think that's someone we should be worried about. It's the people who are coming to crash that should be worried. Like, there's like in Denton on the square, there's like this dude who's always got like a megaphone, and then he comes out with like a bigger megaphone and an amp whenever Pride's around, and I have a good time going in circles around the square telling that dude to go fuck himself, just like hanging out the side of the car when we're turning left, because it's all just like one way in each direction, so like you'll just be turning left. Fuck you, motherfucker. Like, fuck you, St. Rules. Like shit like that. And like,
you talking about the flat earth guy?
Is that the same dude?
I'm pretty sure it's the same guy.
Really? You should put a picture of the fucking car because that shit's on there. We have like one of those flat earth. It's so funny, isn't it? Like it's a like tiny Scion car, and like he's like a flat earther. It's just the funniest shit. And people have vandalized that thing. People have smashed into it on purpose. People fuck that thing up. It's so funny. And I think he bought a new one and then covered it in more paraphernalia. All right, so even though it's Pride Month, I wanted to start off with, are the straights okay? Because I found a couple stories. A few were going to be read last week, and I'm so sorry. Like I said, I'm just tired, guys. But like, I think I only have 2 more weeks of this schedule over 2 hours behind. So that's fun. But like, at the same time, I will be excited to go back to my normal schedule because I have like no energy. Like when I get off work, it's like, anyway, couple more weeks of this, hopefully it'll be over soon. Anyway, but so the are the straights okay during Pride Month? Excuse me, madam.
Cake.
All right, that being said, I found this story earlier that was I don't know if it's real, but it's messed up. It's
You think it's a fake story?
I don't know, if I'm being totally honest with you, because why the fuck would you put this on the internet? And why the fuck would you update us? Because there is an update. So I don't know if it's like
I mean, from the title, it sounds like who else are they going to talk to about it? You know what I mean?
I guess you're right, if I'm being totally honest, which honestly it sucks because I feel bad because they're lonely, but it's just kind of hard when it's like the consequences of your own actions and your own selfishness that drove you, and it's sad though. That's how I feel about it. Anyway, so without further ado, let's jump into a story called My Negligence Cost My Partner Her Life and I'm About to Lose Everything. Okay. All right. Mind the trigger warning because it is a lot. Okay. But it's not that bad. Mostly when you're in the throes of like, oh my gosh, are you suddenly hit with what the fuck, dude? You know what I mean? So let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right. And then join the Discord so I can watch your live reacts. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay. I, 35 male, have been married to Lisa, 28 female, for 3 years and together for 7. A year ago, I fell deeply in love with Amy, 24 female, and had been planning to end my marriage for her. I know it's terrible and not what my wife deserves, but we were the real thing.
Huh?
Remember that. So 2 weeks ago, Amy, had an allergic reaction when we were getting food after work, but she used her EpiPen and she seemed mostly okay afterwards. She usually gets checked at the hospital after a reaction, but I asked if I could just take her home and she could get her friend to drive her because my wife was expecting me back. All I know is that she had a secondary reaction that evening and passed away. I didn't even find out about it until the following Monday through a work email. It has been eating me up ever since, and I will never forgive myself for not sacrificing an hour of my time to possibly save her. Oh gosh, I didn't catch this when I was skimming through it earlier. I sent some childish messages to Amy when I didn't hear from her over the weekend because I thought she was angry I didn't take her to the hospital. And so you thought she was mad because you didn't take her to the hospital, and
How
your
old is
bright
she?
idea is to send her. Oh, because I didn't take you to the hospital with a life-threatening thing. You're blah, 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 blah. What the fuck? He is 35 and she's 24. Oh, and catch this. His wife was 21 when they met. I don't know. It seems like he's just an age gap red flag kind of dude. I am thankful she never saw them and ashamed that I assumed the worst. So,
The worst was her
not
being mad
responding,
at you
or
and
maybe
not dying.
or maybe he thought she was like, maybe you're gonna go suck someone else's dick or something. Like, I bet you he was saying shit like that.
But just that, like, that's the worst to him was her being mad and not talking to him, and not what the actual fuck worst happened was she died. Like you really loved her.
Oh,
though.
I see what you
You know what I
mean.
mean? Like,
Oh, like
this
the
is
worst.
real love.
Like the worst to me is if like I don't want to lose you in a car crash. You know what I mean? And then like the worst to him is she's sucking someone else's dick.
Or just ignoring him.
Or just ignoring
Like, just that. Just not talking to him is the worst thing. But I'm
Damn.
so glad she was actually dead and didn't see me being mad that she
Oh
wasn't
my
talking to me.
god. Damn. Man, you put that in man
Yeah,
speak.
That's
fucked up. I didn't even see it like that. Our relationship was great and the highs far outweighed the lows. Within the first year though, y'all was having highs and lows. It should be all highs in the beginning, I feel like.
He was cheating on his wife, so that's probably a lot of the lows part.
But I have always hated being ignored. Oh, there you go. And I lose my cool when it happens. He sounds like a child. It is not a regular occurrence, and I would have made more than made it. It is not a regular occurrence, and I would have more than made it up to her. Listen, this is what I'm saying. Was like where you're like, wow, like she's gone, and there's a lot going on with that alone. But then this guy just says shit. He just has shit falling up out of his mouth, and you're just like, do you see what I mean now? Like, it's like weird. Yesterday at work, HR and legal were in the CEO's office all day, and my manager ended up canceling our project meeting because he was with them all afternoon. I was on edge, but an affair isn't exactly a corporate crisis, and I thought something would have already happened if anyone knew. I'm now 99% certain it was about me. A few hours ago, I received a message from Amy's phone which said, "This is Amy's brother, Tom. I want you to know it was me." I tried to call, but it went straight to voicemail, and then since none of my messages have been delivered. So again, so big brother or remaining brother, period, at this point, right, has gone nuclear, right? But you can't tell me brother didn't read them fucking messages.
Those childish messages.
Messages.
I was saying, like, I asked this, like, a lot, like, in these stories, in real life. How old is this guy? Because, like, he's 35. That's, like, my age. What is going on here? Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you so mad about being ignored? Why are you sending childish messages? Why are you having an affair and, like, leaving your wife?
It's also Men's Mental Health Awareness Month too.
Is it really?
Yes.
Like,
I've been seeing more of that than any pride shit on my feed, actually. Anyway, go ahead.
And the go-to excuse for dudes who do shit like this is almost always like, "I'm going through a lot. You don't care about my mental health." Like, you are a grown-ass man. Get it together. Why are you like this? Why are these people considered adults? I don't know. I don't know what my thought process is here, but it's
just shocking because you are a 35-year-old man. Wait, are you 35?
Yes.
But you are a 35-year-old man. You don't act like this.
Right.
Much like, remember we were talking about like the youngest sibling, like the youngest child, and how it's usually the golden child. And I was like, yes, I may have been the golden child, but I also wasn't a piece of shit either. You know what I mean? Like, people...
You didn't get the chance to, honey.
Well, I was basically an only child growing up. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm just like... But you know what I'm trying to say is, like, I am the youngest, but I'm also not a piece of shit like we see in so many stories. You know, like, spoiled, rotten, maybe, but I'm not a piece of shit, okay? And then, like, you're a 35-year-old man. You're not a piece of fucking shit. So it's hard for you to see or understand it. Much like it's hard for me to understand how... No, it's not. Never mind. I lost my own thoughts. I lost my own mental battle. Because like a youngest child almost always has it better than the olders.
Yeah.
But then also it feels like that the youngest child, they're expecting you to get them out. Like they invested all of this into you, and they like, I feel like there's pros and cons on both sides, but maybe that's all I'm trying to say is just that we're not pieces of shit. So you're like in your brain trying to figure out how this person is getting here, because the math doesn't math, because you don't do this. Normal people don't do this. Normal people don't cheat on their wives and not take their affair partners to the hospital when they've had an EpiPen situation. You know what I mean? I don't know.
But is it just like confirmation bias because we're always reading these stories that I feel like this is normal people? Like I feel like
But how many stories
this is a
have
regular ass occurrence.
Okay, but we read several stories, right? And like technically we've read hundreds of stories at this point, right? But how many people exist in the earth?
Right. Who aren't on Reddit asking for advice about the fucked up shit they did.
Exactly.
You're right.
But there are a lot of people who are living in silence too. So I understand what you mean when you're like, I feel like this is normal, but the truth is that it's not. But we think it might be normalized because that's what you see. Because you always notice a bad, but how often do people praise the rights? You know what I mean?
Whose man's is this? All right.
I tried to call my manager more times than I should have. And he said, and he sent a message saying, "Please don't contact me until Monday morning.
Ooh.
I can't discuss anything with you right now. So it looks like my universe is going to collapse. I'm going to get fired, and my wife will definitely find out why." She still doesn't know. You sick piece of shit. It reminds me of that cake eater story. Anyway, I am going to be fired, and my wife will definitely find out why. All I can do is hope that Amy's brother only showed them the messages from that weekend. Sir, what the fuck does he gain from protecting your stupid ass? Anyway.
I hope he's nice to me.
Right. Even though I was not nice in my final words to my girlfriend that I was so in love with, who I haven't been with for over a year, who I let fucking die. Okay. Like... How can you be in love with someone and not take him to the hospital after an EpiPen situation? Like, if I didn't know what that was, I would fucking immediately start looking it up. But he said that it happens often.
Yeah, he says usually she has to go get checked
to the hospital.
Out. So he knew, but he didn't want to get caught by his wife.
If you're so in love.
Right.
Bro, you love with your dick, dog. Like, you deserve everything coming to you. And he knows. But I'm just saying, like, he put this on the internet. Either this is fake or you're right, and he doesn't have anybody he can come to about it anyway, which is a consequence of your own actions anyway. So I hope that he only shows them messages from that one weekend, and they were bad enough. I have no family except my wife and daughter, and nowhere to go. All my friends are either people I've met through my wife or my colleagues. On Monday, everything I've spent over a decade working towards disappears. I can't stop it, and I can't talk to anyone about it.
Damn, good thing you thought about that now.
Right. So here I am. I know cheaters are the devil, so I'm not expecting sympathy, but this is making my chest hurt, and I need to get it out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's rough, buddy.
I think what's like worse to me is just like, it's just something that we've always said time and time again, is that like people just do not ask follow-up questions. They don't think ahead. They don't plan ahead. And like, yes, like it's hard to plan ahead, right? But when I say plan ahead, I mean like when you're driving on a highway, right? You know how I'm always like mapping out how to get through slow traffic, right? In a safe way. And I'm a speed demon, okay? But how many wrecks have I been in? Okay. Let me knock on some wood, actually. But you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm planning. I'm seeing that there's traffic 10 miles ahead. You know what I'm saying? I'm slowing down now. I'm exiting soon. I'm getting over before I need to exit. You know what I'm saying? This person is going slow, but I see this person is going around them. I'm going to move over and get around them, right? I'm not going to come up on them. I'm going to keep my flow of traffic, right? Okay. Why don't people do this with their lives? Why don't people ask follow-up questions? Why don't people plan ahead? Why don't people think ahead? Like, even if you can't plan ahead, like monetary wise, we talk about scenarios like what would happen if this happened? How would we react? And we talk about stuff like that. You know what I mean? When we're raising our children, I'm constantly worried I'm going to do something or say something that's going to fuck them up. If I were to fuck someone and break your trust, I would lose my house. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would probably have to pay child support. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would probably I'd have so much to lose just because of what? Some mediocre dick, right? Like, and I know it's gonna be mediocre. I haven't been here for 11 years for no reason. Okay? I'm just saying, people don't think ahead. They never think about their wives, their house, their finances, their children, how his daughter's gonna look at him tomorrow.
Bro, you have a whole
like,
ass
like,
daughter
come
too?
on. Like, you have so much to lose. Your job, apparently, which was immediately made aware. You know what I'm saying? Like, you, like, y'all work together. And you were the last one with her. And the last thing you said to her were some shitty fucking messages. And she's dead now. So that means the police saw that, the family saw that, and then like to know that she probably had work next to your name, most likely, maybe. Come on, y'all. Come on. It's crazy how people don't think ahead. Anyway, there's an update. All right, so we'll kind of run through this one because, like, I'm pretty sure we got like the most of our exasperation out on this one. So, update: my negligence cost my partner her life, and I'm about to lose everything. I have been consistently harassed for an update since posting, so please take it, Gloat, because you're such wonderful people in comparison, and
Wow.
am. Then
The
stop.
narcissism just on display. She said, "You're just such a better person than me, I guess. I'm the worst person in the world." Ah. Yes.
Yes.
Shut up.
And you're the one on the internet, baby. I got friends and family to call. I'm just saying. Anyway, I know that's messed up. High key. It really is. But I mean, I would have left this out because people are just going to go in on you now. But anyway, so stop following me around Reddit. Okay, I will after this. Anyway, I am suffering in the wake of my infidelity and unprofessional behavior, as I knew I would. I understand that it's an appropriate outcome, and I'm taking full accountability. I was suspended from work on Monday, and I'll probably be fired sooner than I thought. I'd hoped to be able to save money as HR built their case, but it looks like Amy's brother basically performed the entire investigation for them. After an excruciating 3-hour run through.
Damn, 3 hours?
After an excruciating 3-hour run through of everything they had, I spoke to the founder and he recommended the solicitor I'm now using. The issue is that the company has to come down hard to protect themselves because even though Amy's family doesn't have much of a chance of a claim, any suggestion of a cover-up could cause damage regardless. The founder still thinks my offer to pay them back will keep it out of court, and some more information has come to light. So it's not certain I won't be prosecuted, but I'm quietly hopeful. I can't afford to keep the lawyer if this goes much further, especially with the divorce on the horizon. That reads to me that he was embezzling.
Entirely, yeah.
Or somebody said in the comments that he was like using the money to take her out on vacations or on business trips or something. But I don't know. Like, I guess that's embezzlement.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
It
never
doesn't
mind.
matter what you use the money
Yeah,
for.
yeah,
You're
I guess
just
so.
taking money.
Damn. Things are not good with my wife.
Oh.
I'm still committed to making this as easy as possible for her. Sure, Jan. You're saying that makes me think otherwise. Especially the way that you were so angry at us in the beginning. I'm just saying. But but I had to draw a line when it came to my daughter. You should have thought about that before. But I had to draw the line when it came to my daughter. When I came home from being unceremoniously escorted out of my office, she already had a bag packed for me. How much you want to bet the manager's called? Hey,
Or the brother.
did you know? Oh, dang. Well, how would he have her number? And like directly after he was escorted out of the office.
I feel like he got the text that was like, I want you to know it was me or whatever. I feel like he just started calling everybody at that point. So it doesn't matter if he knew the wife's number, he probably knew someone who knew her or had the number of somebody who would be like.
But it would be on her phone. The brother had the affair partner's phone. So how would he have any access to any of those people?
They work at the same company.
Yeah.
I'm sure she had all the numbers of enough people at the company, and someone had to have met this dude's wife at some point.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if...
Oh, maybe his boss. Yeah? No, but then that brings it back to me, which I bet you that brings it back to what I said, is somebody at work did it.
Yeah.
So maybe it wasn't the boss per se, but somebody at his job did.
I feel like the brother just spread the news that this motherfucker killed my sister or whatever, and someone that knew both of them and the situation was like, your husband's been cheating on you and he killed.
Or it could just simply be like somebody just shot a text to the mom or the wife. It was like, hey, such and such just got walked out. What's going on?
Oh, it could just be that.
Damn. She wouldn't let me wait at the house till my daughter came home. She wouldn't let me check I had everything I needed. She wouldn't let me take the car, and she didn't care that I had nowhere to go. I spent 2 nights in a hotel, then went back, and she refused to let me see my little girl. She tried to stop me, but we own the house jointly, and it was my only option. My wife has family she could stay with, but she won't leave our daughter here, and she's absolutely not taking her. And she shouldn't. You're the one who fucked up. You're the one who stepped out. So stay out there in them streets, motherfucker. Anyway, I'm keeping out of her way as best I can, which I appreciate is the least I can do. The narcissism.
Right.
Like the way that you wrote that, like you're God's gift because you're trying to like...
I'm trying to not
be in the way.
My wife's face. Aren't I great?
Aren't I great? Even though I'm the one who caused this whole situation in the first place. The Amy situation is quite difficult to talk about, and a lot hasn't even sunk in yet. It turns out she didn't love me as much as I loved her, if at all.
Did you love her, if at all?
Right. Like, I feel like the fact that she passed on maybe made him feel deeper than he really should have. I mean, you see that all the time. People are like that woman who gave a whole eulogy talking about we should have been married with kids with her whole husband right there in the crowd, remember? Anyway, but like, you know, it could have just been a grief response, but you're probably really right, though. He probably didn't really fucking care about her at all. Her brother sent me images of her talking. Her brother sent me images of her talking to her friends about me, and it's hard to believe they came from the person I loved, but they are real.
Oh.
Uh-oh, spaghetti. Sorry to those who were heavily invested in me being a predatory abuser, but you are! Anyway, but
you literally killed her with neglect.
Right.
I don't know what else that is, but abuse of some type.
I mean, if anything, they're just both toxic ass people. You know what I mean? But like, she was getting something out of it, and what did you get? Nothing. Anyway, So she and her friends had a good laugh about her manipulating me for money and a promotion. The role came with a big pay rise, and it looks like her plan was to treat it as a free cash, then go work with one of her friends when it fell through. She knew I'd come under scrutiny whenever she'd messed up, and she'd assumed that I'd keep stepping in to save her. And she was right. Damn.
Damn.
Oh my gosh. How much you want to bet she came on Reddit trying to figure out how to get him to do the best or something?
Nah, it seems like he just let it
Shitty people
happen.
being shitty.
Yeah. I don't think, like, the people telling you how to find a rich man and get his money are really offering you, okay, cake, are really, like, offering you anything useful, because I think the main thing is finding a guy with money or power who wants to give it away to someone.
No,
and
no,
be
no,
that
no. You
someone.
misunderstand me entirely. What is your damage? No, no, no. I was thinking, like, what if she, like, posted on Reddit, like, I think my boss, like, is into me or something.
Oh,
And then people were like, get that fucking
right.
bag, bitch. Like, that's what I was thinking. Like, I was just messing around. But it seems like she clocked you fucking spectacularly, sir. Like, I don't know. Like, obviously, I'm completely humiliated. I was planning to give up everything to build a life with her. You know, they always
They
say
always
that,
say
though.
that, but
Why?
like you could just do that.
Yes.
You could literally just meet the young girl, fall in love like never before, and divorce your wife.
Or you could just
Give up your whole life and start a new one with this person you actually love, but y'all never do that.
What?
Why is that?
What? I'm confused.
Like these dudes always say, I was gonna build a whole new life with her. And like they're always gonna divorce their wife to be with the affair partner. But you could have just done that. If you really meant that, why wouldn't you just do that and then start your life with the new person?
Oh, okay. I was like confused. No, so like you're saying if you just wanted to get out, why not just get out and just start over, right? Yes, that's what I'm saying is like I don't understand is like it's obviously the feeling of being desired, but once you started really relishing in that idea of being desired, you know that the marriage is over. You know what I'm saying? So just fucking leave. You know, like why don't they just leave? Like, why did he write it out? He said he was planning to leave his wife. When? When can the class would like to know? But anyway. And she was treating me like a joke the whole time. My feelings are complicated, so please don't feel entitled to any expansion on this. But I no longer feel guilt over her passing.
You never did.
Right. You were more interested in how you were going to look.
Right.
And like the fact that people were going to know that you sent her really shitty things. And that was like the last messages before they found her. You know what I mean? Like, Reddit acted like I kept her hostage while she begged for help. What really happened was that I asked if she could ask her friend to take her to the hospital because I had to go home, which you should have just left your wife already.
Like you're already lying to cheat on your wife.
Right, you might as well just be late.
What is yeah? Oh, ran a little extra late tonight, honey. I know I've been late constantly all the time.
Right.
Now I'm later. What would be wrong with that?
And who's to say that their marriage wasn't even on the line in the first place because he was probably never home because he was always with his affair partner.
Right.
His wife was probably like halfway unleashed, like hands off anyway. She was probably just waiting for a reason. She said that she was fine and she needed to get some clothes back from her anyway, and I dropped her off as normal. Where were these extra details in the beginning? But anyway, ultimately, she was an adult who had better understanding of her medical needs than I did, but I still don't know what happened between us saying goodbye and her passing, but whatever it was, it had nothing to do with me. But the restaurant that you took her to, I'm sorry for her family's loss, but I bear no responsibility for her passing, except you took her to the restaurant.
Wasn't he just saying he's taking accountability and shit?
And didn't he say that he was super duper in love with her?
Right.
After Amy's messages to her friends were passed around, damn. A few people quietly reached out with words of support. I bet you they're just like, hey man, it sucks that you're going through this. Wishing you well though. Like, I bet you that's all it was. Or maybe they were hoping to get more tea from you.
Right.
I assumed everyone would write me off like Reddit did as an abuser and predator, but now it's clear that she was using me and they see me as a fool who lost everything. They,
They're
Bo,
blaming her.
they're not blaming her, buddy. They're not blaming her, buddy. They're just laughing at you. It's beyond humiliating, but I've learned that I'd rather be pitied than despised, and it improves my legal position with work. Yeah, this dude doesn't give a shit at all. Like
Darvo.
Darvo looking ass motherfucker. Anyway, they're small mercies, but I'll take what I can get. I remain filled with regret, and I will have learned many lessons by the time I get through this. You're gonna go to jail. You can't even afford the lawyer that you have right now. You're not gonna be able to support your, give your wife any money, which you're gonna get in more trouble about. Honey, you're going to jail. You're gonna go to jail either for abetting, or what is it, abetting in her death, like, or negligence, or like, like he could have done something but he chose not to
Right.
because he was cheating,
Right.
right? So like, I'm pretty sure you're gonna get in a lot of trouble for that. And then not only that, you took her there in the first place, and then apparently you were using like company funds to do stuff. You can't afford this lawyer, so you're probably not going to win that lawsuit because you can't hold on to the lawyer. You're probably going to get in trouble for not being able to afford divorcing your wife, and you're going to need child support and alimony probably, or spousal support. You're not going to be able to pay for any of that. Honey, you're going to go to jail. Like, they never think ahead. They never think ahead. Anyway, I may have been deceived, but I am a grown man who made my choices and I take full responsibility for them. Where?
Do you?
Where? I didn't.
You
bitch.
just said you don't take responsibility.
You said you had nothing to do with her death, even though you took her to the restaurant and you didn't take her to the hospital after. I'm just saying. People, so did you steal money from your company on top of abusing your authority at work? The people would like to know. Like, I'm really confused about that. Like, oh, I interpreted it as he will pay the company back for the settlement to her family, but that's not realistic either. All because he found his soulmate. Damn, that was a wild ass story. All right, and enough of that story. I can't wait to hear what y'all think about that story. Now it's time for Slappa's choice. I actually chose a story, but I want Slappa to read it to y'all. So y'all get ready for Slappa's choice.
Trigger warning, stillbirth. Am I the asshole for wanting kids despite my wife's stillbirth? 3 years ago, my 31 male wife, 29 female, got pregnant with twins. Unfortunately, a week before they were due, a drunk driver hit her and she had 2 stillborn girls. It was emotionally very difficult on both of us. It was obvious that trying again in that condition was not wise, so I never brought up or hinted at trying for another kid until this week.
Wait, how long ago was it?
3 years.
3 years.
I figured since 3 years has passed, it's appropriate to discuss this with her. She looked very sad and told me that she's sorry, but she isn't ready, and she's not sure when she'll be ready, if ever. I respected her answer and did not push any further. For context, I do know she's against adoption and surrogacy. I have been thinking about this, and I see 2 ways ahead. Divorce and find someone else to have kids with. That...
Oh my god!
That's like the craziest, are the straights okay mindset I see often. Like, you're just gonna divorce to find someone to have a kid with. Like, you don't even care at that point that if you were ever in love with the first person you married, and now you're literally just finding someone who also wants to have kids with you. And y'all don't see an issue with that, and y'all are the ones always being like, the sanctity of marriage. Y'all don't give a fuck. Y'all really don't. Like, you want to get married to, like, fit in with society, and then when it doesn't work out, like, if you can't have a kid, you're like, I gotta just leave you and find someone who will have a kid with me. Like, not, I want to marry someone I love. I want to marry someone to live the rest of my life with. I don't know.
That's crazy, man. Like, I can't even imagine, because she's still going through the throes of grief.
Right.
And then you're going to divorce her. So now she's going to be alone, childless.
It'll probably help her, like, get some good mental help. Like, without him, like, obviously he doesn't give a fuck about her. Like, if we were trying to have kids and you lost them, I wouldn't bring up that shit again. That'd be up to you entirely if we ever wanted to have kids again.
Yeah,
Like,
I'd have to agree, because, I mean, I already have so many fears about pregnancy, but, like, yeah, I couldn't even imagine, like, feeling my children kicking for months and months and months and months, like, for 38
like,
weeks.
I couldn't even imagine, like, a week before the due date,
Yeah.
I would be excited I'm about to be a dad, right?
Yeah.
And then not gonna happen. I would be fucked up about that. I don't know if I would want to have any other kids.
Oh my gosh. Yes,
Like,
because
I would
it's
have
still...
we would have already got the baby stuff for it.
Oh my
We
gosh.
would have planned all that. We would have been ready. And then it's
Imagining
just
our
gone.
futures, like, oh, how are we going to do graduation? And
Right.
what college are they going to go to? Or are they going to be gay like us? You know, that's mad fucked up. I didn't even think about that. Like, you're more sentimental about kids than I am, though.
So... Yeah. Anyways, or stay and agree to the possibility of never having kids. That was a possibility before you even married her. Like,
Right.
I don't know why people just think everybody's going to have a kid and that's like how it goes. Like, no. Not everyone has kids. And if that's all you want out of life, don't get married for any other reason, I guess. I don't know. It's fucking weird.
You know what's, like, even weirder still is, like, you could have a kid. Say you just, fuck it, I'm gonna just pop one out.
Right,
You know what I'm
got
saying?
one.
Then they're gonna be like, you gonna have more? When's the next one? You gonna give her a little baby brother or a little baby sister? Or say we have two, right? Most people don't question us, you know, are you gonna have more? You know what I'm saying? But I do regularly get people ask me, so you're gonna have any more? For what? I have one of each. I have two. That's a nice even number. You know what I'm saying? Like, why else? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so even if you did have kids, it doesn't even matter. Like, he could be like, I don't want people in society forever asking me, well, how come you don't have kids? Well, you know, one day you'll change your mind or something kind of attitude, right? But then you have a kid, they ask if you're going to have more. You have two kids, they still asking if you're going to have more, and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? And then you have like 4 or 5 and people are going to be like, are you going to quit now? And so, like, people aren't satisfied no matter what you do. So why even fucking give a shit? Like, all right. Because people aren't going to be satisfied no matter what you tell them. Whether you tell them, I don't want to have children, they're going to fucking have something to say. You have a child. Are you going to have more? It just doesn't matter. Who cares? Okay, I'm sorry.
On the one hand, I vowed in sickness and in health.
On this hand.
Which I always thought, in the context of children, meant that you don't leave your spouse if they could not / would be dangerous for them to have kids. I never really thought how that would apply to this kind of trauma. What do you even mean? Just doing mental gymnastics.
Right.
Just leave her. You don't care.
Right.
You
Like,
don't fucking love this woman.
in sickness and in health, well, I thought when thinking about children, no, sir, in totality, in sickness and health, we didn't even do those kinds of vows when we got married, right? I said, you belong to me, and now the state of Texas recognized. Like, I said something like that. Like, I didn't even say no bullshit like this, but like,
It's a very legal process.
right?
No emotion involved. Ceremony.
I already was pregnant. What else was gonna happen? You know what I mean? But you know what I'm trying to say? It's like, it's in totality. It's in sickness and health. Period.
But that's
not
like
in circumstances.
the first vow broken by like every husband, though, isn't it?
Gross.
Like, don't nurses have to like have a talk with women about how their husband's probably about to divorce them because
Oh
they
my
have
gosh,
cancer
yes.
or leukemia or
Yes.
anything?
Yes. Like, remember we read that story where that person was like maybe 18 or so years old, and he found out, or she found out, that dad had been cheating while mom was sick. They all found out, they got everything, and then mom passed away, and they got everything, and now they're alone with all this stuff, all this money and assets and stuff, but no dad.
Right.
And like, that's like, and they're really young. Like, I think they just graduated college, or like not even college, high school, and they were going to go to college, and so they were about to experience literally their whole lives by themselves when they've had their whole family their whole lives. That's like so fucked up. This is the same thing.
I also know that the experience must have been 10 times more painful for her than it was for me. To feel your twins' movement stop, I cannot even imagine. I can say that if I was the one going through this, the thought of ever getting pregnant again would also terrify me. So I definitely understand and respect her feelings.
I mean, at least he's acknowledging what I was most worried about, but it's just like, I don't think he does.
Obviously not.
Because you see time and time again that men truly just discount what pregnancy is, or what it's like, or what you go through, what pregnancy and later labor and delivery is like. Like, I just saw a man on the phone with his boss. He had like 3 weeks of paid paternity leave. It was like 15 days, Monday through Friday, right? And they told him to come back to work, but he was like, my wife just had a C-section, and he was like, I don't know what that is, but she's a woman, she can fucking do it. That's what they do. It's more than that.
Yeah, also he's like, to feel your twins' movement stops. I can't even imagine. But like, to me, thinking about how you lost your kids a week before the due date, it's like you went through 9 months of like torture being pregnant. Like, I was there with you.
Yeah.
Like, that seems the worst experience you could have as a human, almost. Like,
literal torture.
You're stuck
with
with
no
a thing
yield.
growing inside you and your body changing for that whole time.
And then you have no result, and you yield no result.
It's like, I don't know, maybe a man with no context can understand, like, you got a 9-month contract where you had to go and fucking work hard 12 hours a day for 9 months. And then they just didn't pay you.
Oh my God, that's a beautiful analogy.
How would you feel about that?
You spend all that time, that
Would you
effort.
ever work for that company again?
God damn. What a beautiful analogy for a man's world.
But I also want to have a child, and it's a life goal that I have. I love my wife, and I don't want to leave her. But at the same time, I see no solution that we can stay together without massive injustice being inflicted on one person. My wife cannot be re-traumatized to make me a father, but I can't give up having a child to accommodate her either. Am I the asshole?
Yes.
Yes.
What I fear, okay, is that he's going to follow through. He's a grown man. He's going to do what he wants to do. You know what I'm saying? But like, what messes me up is he's most likely going to get into another relationship with somebody
just to have a kid.
It's probably not going to be as deep and meaningful as it was with his wife, you know what I mean? But not only that, but then when he realizes that child rearing is actually hard as fuck, and he's going to miss his freedom and his wife before pregnancy and children, and then he's going to be like, oh, my wife is going on vacation and trying to get through, you know, the trauma, child free.
Also, the way
like, a baby might have happened while you was on vacation with her going through the trauma. I'm just
right.
But like, I need baby now.
Right, like the way these dudes talk about it is like his life. He has a life goal of having a child.
Not being a father.
Right. Like, you
having
don't want
a child.
to
His
raise
words.
a child. You just want one.
That's
you
why
just
I was
want
like,
to know you have a kid. That's
why,
all you want.
That's why I was asking you the other day. I was like, have you ever just wanted to put a baby in me?
No.
You know what I mean? Like, that's weird.
I wanted to, like, live with you forever and grow old with you. And, like, I would imagine us playing with our children together. But, like, never just, like, I want to get you pregnant. Like, that seems like, I don't know.
Counterproductive? I don't know.
It just seems like such a base, like everything that lives reproduces or can or does to, like, continue. That's, like, part of life. That's not like a life goal. It's like being proud of being white, you know?
Oh, I get it.
Right.
Like, he's so baseline.
Right.
That he doesn't even have other goals.
There's so much more to life. And you're focused on the thing that is, like,
DNA.
The basics of
human
things happening on Earth still.
Animals.
Right.
Animalia. Like, gosh. Damn, I didn't even think about it like that. That is crazy to think about, and actually answers a lot of questions I've had about people who do this. So
happy Father's Day coming up.
Happy week plug in it. I want to read some of these comments. You need to make it clear to her how you're feeling and how important this is to you. You could ask her if she's willing to go to counseling to explore this, but you need a finite answer. Ultimately, she may never be ready to have children again, and you need to decide if that's a deal breaker for you. No one's the asshole here. She is not an asshole for how she feels, and neither are you. If it turns out that she never wants children, then you're no longer compatible if you do still want them, and you may need to leave. You would not be an asshole for doing so. This is heartbreaking, and I'm sorry for both of you. I agree, but, like...
You don't think he'd be an asshole for leaving just because she doesn't want to have kids?
No, I do, but I also agree in that measured response that no one's really the asshole here. Well, it's just a shitty situation.
Yeah, you're not an asshole for, like...
But I think you're an asshole for leaving your wife while she's going through trauma.
Right.
Like, I think that's the asshole part. Exactly. Not because you want to have children. I don't think that's the asshole part. I think it's like a case of the Iranian yogurt.
I feel like he's an asshole for the way he wants to just have a child and wants to marry someone else just to have a child. That's a fucking I don't care about anybody else. I just want a kid kind of mentality. So, yeah, you're an asshole for that.
Yeah. So I feel like he phrased his question in bad faith, if I'm being totally honest with you. I don't think it's like still wanting kids despite my wife's stillbirth. I think it's am I the asshole
for wanting to leave
because
my wife doesn't want to have kids
right now.
But I think he is an asshole for bringing it up the way he did, I guess.
Well, I don't know.
Like,
we don't know.
He could have just, like, been worried about his wife.
He said, I figured since it's been 3 years since it's passed. Like,
right, but you should know. It's
kind of flippant
like,
the way
I feel
he
like
wrote
if you were actually, like, caring about her and working with her on getting past what happened, you would know if she was ready.
Yes, that part. Because if they were really working through trauma together.
If you were really more worried about how your wife's doing than her having another kid for you, you would probably have another kid with her.
Right. Or it could be a happy accident.
Right.
You know, it could be like a way that you were forced. It could be a way that you were forced to face the reality that life is still moving.
Right.
And like I think that like I said, he's gonna like immediately get divorced. He's probably gonna immediately go find another person instead of processing his loss. I don't even think he's processed his loss. You know what I mean?
Not.
And anyway, but like I don't like he hasn't processed his loss. He hasn't processed his divorce. He's going to get another woman pregnant. He's going to marry another woman, get another woman pregnant. And then he's going to start realizing, I wanted to do all this with my wife, but I got rid of that. I ended that. And so now he's going to be living with regret. But if he had just worked with his wife, maybe like I said like earlier, he's going to see his wife going on or his ex-wife going on vacation, going living her best life,
or finding someone new,
or finding
and
someone
living
new
her
who's
best life
better,
with them and
who's
having a kid
better
with
than
them.
you. You know what I mean? And having a kid with them. And like it reminds me of that Hank Hill episode when they were trying to conceive Bobby, where they were having all this trouble, and as soon as, remember, Ladybird came and they loosened up, and they like, you know, instead of it being like a mechanical scientific thing, they loosened up. They were having fun like wrestling on the ground, and that's how Bobby came about. You know what I'm saying? Like they could be getting through this together, loving each other, taking time for each other, going on vacation together, just exploring each other's brains and minds. And I feel like you become a different person. Now you're getting to know this new person who's got survived this trauma, and you just threw all that away just because you want a child. And I just think that's really messed up, if I'm being really honest with you. And I just don't agree that you're not an asshole for that. Like the question wasn't the right question, and I feel like
the question was asked in a way that was like, I guess not, you know, like
yeah.
You can't really be an asshole for wanting kids.
Yeah. Like
but
you
like
you
the
touched
way
on
you're
the
going
surface.
about it, definitely you're an asshole.
I would like to know what people say like about that in the Discord.
Join the Discord.
I don't know. Like, I feel like I understand, but I don't. People are making some good points. They're saying, is her body even capable of pregnancy and carrying? Because after something that tragic or traumatic, what is the physical extent of damage to her body? So to be that far along and to lose them means likely serious physical trauma to his wife. Can she even safely have children? The answer is yes, with a C-section, probably high risk. But my biggest thing is like, what did she have to endure? Because I'm pretty sure if it was like a week out, she had to straight up deliver, like in the same fashion that she would have if she had just gone without an accident. So she literally went through birth, which is horrible. She had to get the placentas out. She had to get all of that. I think, again, he's discounting how badly that happened. And I think I didn't even think about how the babies were taken from her. You know what I mean? Like, we know how they were lost, but what did she go through to get them removed? That's like a really fucked up thing that I don't even think he's thinking about.
I don't think he's really thinking about his wife much at all. He's just probably been suppressing his feelings about all that for the past 3 years, and now he's like, I'm pretty over it. I'm ready to try again. She should be too, I figured. Like, you figured? You weren't talking about this with her? Like, how are you doing? Like, I guess if you're suppressing your own emotions about it, you're not going to want to talk to her about it too. So, probably not.
This person says she didn't say no. She said she's not ready. You're both young and have time. Leave her if you want. That's your choice. But this is way too early for you had no choice. You have a right to leave her if you need children now, but that's on you and not her. And I'm kind of done with this comment section. It took me way too long to even find that. And that wasn't even the whole comment. They were talking about their own trauma, which I didn't feel comfortable reading. But like, because it was a lot. But anyway, but I don't know. I'm just like, he's wanting now things. He's not thinking about down the line. Like, I'm just like, have fun with your fucking partner. Because if you just stop and you just have a good time, a lot of these problems would disappear. Even like men who were trying to go for women as a conquest. You know, those red pill podcasters. I need a woman who's this. You know, they have like a laundry list, a CVS receipt, a mile long of things that they want their partners, their spouses, their future wives to be. But the thing is, you can't start at 100. You have to start at 0. Maybe even 25 miles an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they would just stop and have fun. If they would just stop and just enjoy the partner that they have, all of this stuff will come. I just don't understand this. I just don't. Are the straights okay? But anyway, I have one more story, and I just thought it was really fucking funny. And also, don't fucking touch my food, okay? So, trigger warning, food. Like, it's like food related, meaning like food insecurities, okay? All right, so one more, and then I have a question. Or actually, let's just ask now since we're in between. Keiki will not stop meowing and will not stop scratching, biting. She's been biting and scratching me every day since the kids have stopped or the kids have gone home to my mother. She's waking me up. She forces Slappa to like she'll like nip and claw at somebody until we go follow her, and she like takes us upstairs to her food bowl, and then she eats, and that's all she wanted. Like, is that normal? We like hold her, we pet her, like I cuddle with her. Like, she actually has been cuddling in between us whenever it's bedtime, and then like once we cuddle up, she comes over me and sleeps behind me, and we're one big throuple, you know what I'm saying? Like, one day she fell asleep just like on top of me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's the affection. Like, we let her outside on our enclosed patio, so she's safe. She can't escape, you know, and she can't get to the other patio because she's too big now. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't know. Like, she's getting her outside time. She's getting her inside time. We're petting her. We're being affectionate with her. She gets snacks like semi regularly, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have the cat yogurt treats, we have the cat like catnip, we have cat treats, you know, like the ones that you just like feed her. They're like little squares or whatever. I just don't know what to do, and like um my legs, my skin can't keep taking this. I'm It's really hard getting woken up at like 4 and 5 a.m. every single day, and like I don't know what to do. If anybody knows what to do, like I'm worried, but she seems happy. She just seems needy. But then whenever we like try to be needy with her, she doesn't want it. And then like the other day we were like brushing her, we were like grooming her because her like I was petting her, and like a tuft of like fur came up, and it turned, and then like so I was like, "Hey, get the brush." And so we like combed her down, and she was, man, she was really happy. She was like grooming with us, like she would let us do it, and then she would follow behind us, you know what I'm saying? Like, she looked like she was having a really good time. She even rolled over on her belly so that we could do it for her, you know. But even like now we've been like low key fighting with her for the last like 90 minutes. I don't know if anybody has any insight on like a kitty doing that and like just kind of wreaking havoc and just kind of causing damage to your body. Like, more than usual. Like, it's like 100 times. It went from 0 to 100. That's what I'm trying to say. And like I'm just like worried that it's something I'm missing, but everything I'm seeing is just like they want your attention. I just was wondering if anybody had any insight. But what do you anything you want to add?
I think she's just clingy because the kids are gone. So she wants attention all the time just from us, and we're not used to that. The kids have her half the time usually.
But the kids are usually torturing her. Like, I don't know, our daughter stays with scratches all over her hand.
She's usually very sweet, but I'm pretty sure at some point Cake is like, okay, I want to leave now, and she's like, no, I want to pet you, so she gets scratched.
Yeah, she doesn't know when to stop. The kids are going to be gone for a few more weeks, so we'll see. We've got one more story, and it's really funny to me because like I don't like to share. So I'm not gonna, but like it's also trigger warning because food insecurity as well. This story is called I'm ghosting my girlfriend and I don't care if I'm wrong for it anymore. I'm just done. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's a bad reason, but I cannot fucking take it anymore. My blood pressure has legit been spiking over this recently, and I cannot keep this up. I cannot do it. All right, buddy, I got you. We've been together for close to a year, so y'all haven't even been together a year yet, and you're already tripping like this. Definitely, please ghost her, or I would say at least just tell everybody so she can't make up a narrative about you. You know what I mean? But regardless, tell somebody. I wouldn't say ghost, but okay. We've been together for close to a year, and this problem has only come up over the past 2 months. She never did this shit when we first got together, and I don't know why she fucking started, but I'm so sick of it. It's crazy. Whenever we get food, she always eats off my plate, no matter what it is or where we are. The only thing that stops her is if I order the exact same thing as her, and she's taken to ordering things that I cannot eat, so I can't do that. If I tell her to stop in the moment, she just laughs. And when I talk to her about it privately, she blows me off because it isn't a big deal. But it is to me, god damn it. I have a history of food insecurity, which makes it a lot worse. And I've tried to explain that. But then she snaps that I'm being condescending, and I just can't.
I hate when people do that.
True, but I also kind of want to know how old she is. And I have
I mean,
questions.
just like the other story, like, he was 35, and I was like, how old is he? Like, people are just...
But, like, my biggest thing is, like, why is she ordering stuff that she doesn't like?
That's what I'm saying, like, it's fine to eat off each other's plate, but, like...
Yeah. I also don't like sharing, but I'm going to share with you.
Right, but if you tell me, don't eat this, I'm not going to eat it. And I hate when people are like, it isn't a big deal. Okay, if it's not a big deal, why couldn't you just listen to me?
Yeah.
It seems like it's a big deal to you if you can't just listen to me saying, hey, stop eating my fucking food, and then you eat my food and say it's not a big deal. But you're doing it when I said don't do it. If it's not a big deal, you could just not.
Would that be considered a projection because you're trying to project onto them that it's really not a big deal, but it is a big deal to them? Is
it projection or just manipulation or gaslighting?
Maybe gaslighting. Or is it just manipulation? I think it's just manipulative. It's hypocrisy.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Most recently, she had a plate full of pizza on the table and had eaten over half of my medium pepperoni, and I was so pissed. I just grabbed 2 slices off her plate without asking, which made her
Excuse me?
Which made her go into shock for a moment before screaming and acting like I had fucking slapped her in the face or something. Spitting and going red in the face. You don't even like olives, you fucking asshole. You always have to be right about everything, you dick. You can't just let me have this one fucking thing. As if I had been the one consistently stealing from her from months.
What the hell?
Again, I ask, how old is she? Because, like, okay, listen, whenever we order pizza, whether it's at work or at home, which is rare because, like, I can't eat pizza, so I often don't say anything at work and I often don't order pizza at home, right? But back when I did have pizza, right, I would order pepperoni and bacon. I'm 34 years old. I like what the fuck I like. I don't care, okay? I paid for it. I'ma fucking eat it, okay? But anyway, so, and why would I pay for something I didn't fucking like? Why would I pay for something I didn't fucking want? Huh? Anyway, so that's like wasteful. Anyway, again, I ask, how old is she? Because why is she ordering stuff that she doesn't like? Because at my job, whenever I have pepperoni and bacon, okay, people call me childish for liking pepperoni and bacon. I just like pepperoni and bacon. I don't want onions. I don't want green peppers, bell peppers, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't need all of that. I just want pepperoni and I want some fucking bacon. Is that so fucking wrong? And I think it's more adult of me to know what the fuck I like and what I want. So back to the story, okay? I'm asking how old she is because is she ordering stuff that she doesn't like because she thinks that's what adults are supposed to do? Or is she just ordering stuff and wasting money, which is equally childish and terrible in this fucking economy, You know what I'm saying? I want to know what's really going on there. Or is it a joke? In which case, again, that's childish as fuck. I'm just saying she sounds emotionally unintelligent. She sounds emotionally immature. Damn. That, like, it just seems immature, you know, and it just seems dumb. That's why I'm just like, how old are y'all anyway? And also, let people have what the fuck they want to. I like pepperoni and bacon. Anyway, I just went cold, tossed the pizza back on her plate, not at her, as she was in my face screaming and a ways from the plate, and I just fucking left the apartment. She claims there was no reason to get violent. Ah, hell no. Get her the fuck out now. Absolutely not. When is tossing pizza on a plate across the room while she screams in my face violent? Nah, I'm getting away from her. She's now tried to apologize, but I'm not going near her again or answering any messages or calls from her. Oh, so you've already ghosted her. Got it. So what are you asking us for? Why are you telling us? Oh, it's a true off my chest. Never mind. Glob only knows if she'll decide to call the fucking cops and have me arrested for my violent behavior, and I'm not chancing it. If I'm so fucking awful and violent, she can get away from me and be safe to steal constantly from other people. That's why I'm saying you cannot ghost. You have to write the narrative. You have to tell people before they can get told what to think. Like, hey, just if anybody asks, me and what's her name broke the fuck up because she's a thieving pizza whore. Like, I don't know. She's a thieving pizza whore. I said it. Anyway, I know ghosting is wrong and I've been through it before. But after that, I don't know if I trust myself to speak to her cordially again. I want to scream and curse back, but that isn't who I am and not how I was raised. Yes, so if she is pressing buttons like that, it's definitely time to leave. I don't like the person she's turned into, and I hate the person she's turning me into. And I think you're right about that. Like one time we read a story in which somebody was like, I this man always knew how to get under my skin and he always knew how to talk his way back into my life. That was a personal write-in, and they said that one day they started remembering the recipes to certain food poisons, and so they started putting food poison in his food. They were poisoning him to give him the runs. And I don't care what you say, like if you put something in someone's food and they have a reaction where they have the runs, you poisoned them. You fucked up their body levels, you know what I'm saying? You hurt them. And now they're in the bathroom cramping and shitting and farting. You know what I'm saying? But like that person was like, that man made me do that. I get it, but you let him because you kept letting him back in, right? But also, good for you for recognizing it and getting out before it became a bad, like, before, I mean, it's already bad, right? But before it became a suit, a lawsuit, before he went to the hospital, before something happened and he like ended up unalive. You know what I'm saying? Who knows what would happen? What medical problems that you could have awakened from overexposure to those harsh chemicals and shit, right? Like you don't even know. So I'm glad that that person recognized what they were doing was fucked up and got away from that man. And I'm also glad this OP from today realizes that he's changing in a bad way and doesn't want to be a part of it. And but seriously, y'all sound like y'all are in fucking high school, so maybe just not marry your high school sweetheart. Anyway, this person was like, it's abuse and it gets worse over time. I was trapped in a relationship with a woman similar to this, and it wasn't about sharing food, but she'd used this technique in other ways, and over the course of 3 years, it evolved into a form of Stockholm syndrome in which she was gaslighting me, then verbally and finally physically abusing me until I left. And then it does not matter in any way, shape, or form. If an abusers are gonna abuse. You know what I'm saying? And it always escalates. It always escalates. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It goes from like isolation to verbal assault to physical assault every single time. They say that once he puts his hands around your neck, that's it. The next step is death. My ex wrapped his hands around my throat. And it took me, and I didn't even realize how bad it was until randomly one summer I was like drunk, and I remember somebody was telling their story, and then it occurred to me that my story was really similar and that I survived death. That man could have killed me. I survived. Like, he was trying, right? He was trying to maim me. He was trying to hurt me. It always escalates. And I'm glad you recognized it, because I didn't even recognize it. I recognized that I needed to leave. I left and still didn't recognize that he was trying to unalive me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that you recognize it, because I was so far gone I didn't even recognize it. So good for you for recognizing it. Why do I feel like this behavior started? Due to one of those TikTok partner tests. Push your partner to the brink and then blame them for having endless patience. Either that, she's just entitled with anger issues. I feel like this is definitely not a TikTok trend, and I don't like how the people are always blaming TikTokers, but I haven't seen this trend yet. Not this one. What have you seen?
The orange peel test, the
Yeah, of
strawberry
course.
test.
The strawberry test.
I'm not like on those
Straight
kind
talk.
of TikToks. Like there's always the straight couple prank TikTok trends that are basically this, and those are pretty fucking awful.
You know what? And some of them, a lot of them are food related too, because and there's like just like I just can't deal with food waste. Not these days. There's too many people who are hungry as fuck right now who wish they could eat. And I'm thankful that I can. You know, like, I don't know. This is all crazy. This is all like really like immature weirdness. Anyway. All right, guys. Happy Pride, of course. Father's Day is next week. We're probably going to do some more Father's Day stories with a hint of pride. And then if y'all have any pride stories, send them our way. Our email will be somewhere on this screen. And then make sure you're checking that spelling, because it's not Light, it's Lite. But I just want to say, y'all be safe out there. Protect yourself. You deserve the best at all times. Deadpool is Pan. I'm Pan, and everything is awesome. Yeah, there you go. All right, good job, guys. Heck yeah, hell yeah, brother. Hell, oh, you do like the like from Predator.
Doing it so bad.
Regardless, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I hope y'all had fun with us. See y'all later. Bye.
Bye.